Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you guys have had a great week and are looking forward to a great weekend. I am going to answer today on the topic, are the tech layoffs in the tech industry going to impact the Austin housing market? And I just was on a mastermind with Gary Keller and some of the top agents around the country, and we talked about this. And then specifically as it relates to Austin, because Gary started Keller Williams in Austin, Texas in 1983, so 40-ish years ago. And we talked about this specifically. So the long and the short of it is that no, he does not believe that the tech and all of the tech layoffs are really going to impact the housing market by and large. The reason is that the tech industry employs a very, very small percentage of people that are employed in this country. And then our unemployment rate as a country is at 3.6%, which is really low. A good economic metric is unemployment at 5% or 6%, somewhere in that range is a kind of a good unemployment. So we're well below that. And the tech industry is a very, very small percentage of that. And then specifically in Austin, I know we have a lot of tech companies, so people keep asking me that. And yes, it's going to impact people on an individual basis, but is it going to have a sweeping across the board impact on our housing market in Austin? No, it really won't. And that was his opinion. And I tend to agree, because even though tech is a big part of our Austin economy and industry, there's not really a lot of layoffs because people are downsizing. There's a lot of fat trimming. These companies, and we talked a lot about this, and I can get into more detail, but they were scaling at such a fast pace and they were growing at such a fast pace that they were hiring ahead of their growth. And so really they're looking at their profits and their margin, and they're looking at their stock prices. And in order to help preserve that on the Wall Street, they're cutting and they're doing layoffs. But by and large, their layoffs are a very small percentage of the tech workforce as well. So I thought I would answer that question, because I get that question quite often from clients saying like, oh my gosh, what's happening in the Austin housing? Is tech really going to impact, or housing going to, go down? And Austin housing has declined quite a bit since last April. We're coming up on the 11th month of when the market really started to shift as a result of the higher interest rates. So that said, we're kind of at that rock bottom. And Gary was talking about looking at our metrics from a US perspective, that it looks like our housing prices and our inventory levels really look like we are at kind of the bottom, and we're probably going to be riding at that plateau for probably the end of this year, maybe into next year, but at least for the remainder of 2023. So it's a really great, interesting, and insightful conversation. And I thought, because we had a pretty deep dive conversation around the Austin tech market and how that's going to impact Austin real estate, and that's a question I get all the time from people, I thought I would answer that on today's Friday market update. So have a wonderful weekend ahead. Always here as a team to answer your questions and strategize about what's best for you and your real estate needs and housing needs. So just reach out. We're always here to help. Have a really great weekend.